Hi there, my name's Richie. I'm an MA Sociology student here at TAG at Concordia as well. I work with Bart Simon, who's my supervisor. First and foremost, thank you all for coming today. I'm really excited to hear from all of you. So I'll start off my research by just saying, a statement. There were two clubs, okay? And these clubs were great. They were fantastic clubs. First club of which, in the 1960s, was a time for working class, middle-aged, Londoners to really find that oomph in life. Post-war England, find that kind of liberation, that plainness within the seriousness of everyday life. The other club was for children internationally, right? For anyone, everywhere around who wanted to revive an inner child in them, or children themselves, to come and meet together online in a safe, controlled, and very fun way. Unfortunately, the first club was shut down by the church, the news, and the schooling system, despite its advocacy, its keystones for childhood, for childrenness, for play, for unseriousness in such a serious life. The second is within the 21st century, and that's bought up by the megalomaniac, capitalistic conglomerate called Disney. Both of them has been shut down since. However, before we get to that, the first club I'm talking about is, of course, the Fun Palace, 1964, which the Minecraft Cabal here, Andrew, has been talking about. And it's a place built by avant-garde, British, wonderful folks. I'll keep it at that. I can go on for hours. But basically, it's the whole thing, that intersection, that dialogue between machine and person. And it's the whole thing about this is both of them are just programmed enough. You go to Fun Palace, you want to have fun. The building wants to serve you. It changes, it uses cybernetics. But there's just enough leeway, enough gap in between for possibility, for that experienced randomness, that planned uncertainty, right? The other is called Penguin, my dear and old friend, which was made in 2005, but shut down in 2018. It was my childhood. It was my first it first spoke to me that, yes, number one, it was possible to have so much fun virtually, and that I can find friends online. So that whole division between the real world and the not real world, that was when it broke for me. And the second was, what if I could do this for my children or my children's children, right? Like, I can make the space for everyone, anywhere on the planet. Interestingly, since it's shut down, there has been more revivals. There's Fun Palaces now, which is a whole annual-ish kind of get-together. There's this little recreation of the Fun Palace of what it would have looked like. There's also all these kind of revivals of Club Penguins, this one of which was made by one of the actual workers within the original Club Penguin and the Frog in Paradise, which is okay. So why am I talking about this? Just like the Club Penguin's iceberg, which by the way was a JPEG, and it lasted there for its whole, I think, 16 years without changing until the very last party when the developers tipped the iceberg for the penguins, because everybody always just equipped their hard hat helmets and tried to tip it. It was a lore and kept it going. Littlewood, one of the founders of the Fun Palace, was always on the edge, not just being pushed by everyone, but on the edge of tomorrow. She was a tomorrow person, possibility. Why did these things keep coming up? You can't prevent possibility. This is one of the things that the original founder of Club Penguin talked about on Disney. And it's like that tale with the grasshopper and the ant. It's like everyone has to learn to work. Everyone already knows how to have fun. We shouldn't force that. We shouldn't profitize that. We shouldn't do anything about it. Just have fun. So where do I come in terms of my research? I look primarily at nostalgia here. At nostalgia, because it's very important. Nostalgia as a place, as a time, and I'll talk more about that later. But right now, we're always obsessed. We're text persons. We're always engaged in material, in media. And it mediates us as well, right? It's like all these things that can fulfill ourselves are in some ways foolish depictions. They're like imaginary. They're crazy things. Why is it so real to us? Perhaps there's that craziness within us that needs to be controlled, but not, surveilled, but just in the right amount, that possibility, that palaceness. Right here, during COVID, as you all know, you've been kind of etched into your room, glued to your diversion, I suppose, and all types of technology during the lockdown. For extremely socially withdrawn persons who I hope my work can benefit from, hikikomori, which is a Japanese-originated phenomenon of extreme social withdrawing, not withdrawal. There's a distinction there. It's a verb, not a noun, by the way. And for our future, augmented reality, VR, we have to all know what it means to have fun, right? We have to be reminded of that without those constraints. So Boyle talks about how nostalgia, in essence, is not finding a place, but a time that not just was, but a time that could have been. Childhood is not a place, it's a time. It's a time. It feels something, there's a belonging to it. The fun isn't just there, the palace isn't just enriched, it's a fun palace. It's a resources that you feel like royalty, even though you're a peasant from the 60s Londons or whatever you were. So in terms of my research, I'm looking at how to make these digital spaces accommodating for people, creating these fun palaces for everyone, where everyone from peasants to anyone else or people in general can feel enriched. It is within possibility that there can be productivity in pain. What does play provide for us? And it's not finding a place or a time, but a timely place where you belong. And I'll tell you where that is after I do my thesis. So, thank you very much.